can I tell you for a fact that he is a FBI man or a Fed or no, I can't, but I'm going to tell you what came out of Pete Santilli's mouth himself on a phone conversation, and I'll get to it. The other stuff with his, wife, daughter, his girlfriend's, whatever, that it's none of my business. I'm just here to discuss Pete Santilli and what he said about me. Like I said, I don't care how Pete's show does. I don't care for Pete. It is what it is. Hallelujah, good luck. Do what you do with your business. But what he's talking about is Pete Santilli years ago coming to Liberty One. Okay, Liberty One TV was a network owned by Terry Littlepage. I was part of the network. Jermaine Bozzio was part of the network. Joe Biggs was part of the network. Eric Thompson was part of the network. Jim Lockwood was part of the network. And the list goes on and on and on and on. However, Terry Littlepage wanted to bring in Pete Santilli. And Joe Biggs, our biggest show at the time, this is when I was first starting out. Joe Biggs said, hey, I don't want you to bring Pete Santilli on because I heard he was a Fed. So me, Jermaine Bozzio, Terry Littlepage, we're sitting there discussing this, and we didn't want to lose Joe. And Terry's like, well, let's just call Pete and, get it straight from the horse's mouth. He calls him. He introduces us all. He says, hey, some of the guys have some problems. And Joe Biggs, being Joe Biggs, got up or just said right away, Pete, I heard that you had something to do with Finicum's death. And Pete Santilli said, okay, hang on. I'm not a federal agent. I'm not a narc, but I made a call and told the FBI where they were because I was protecting children. I was protecting wherever they were going. I don't know. This is just my interaction that he's talking about now. Wherever they were going to go, he was protecting children that were supposedly in some building on some reserve somewhere. He didn't want the children to get hurt, so he made a call and told them what route they were taking. That was the extent of the conversation. But he said, I'm not a federal agent. I'm not working with anybody. I was just trying to protect children. If you don't believe me and you think that I'm wrong, if you think I'm lying, call Jermaine Bozzio. If you think that I'm lying and you don't believe Jermaine, call Joe Biggs. And if you don't believe this, call Terry Littlepage himself, which happened to be owner of Liberty One TV. So, was he a Fed? I don't know. But he admitted himself that he made a call to make sure that children were protected, and it may have ended up in them getting pulled over on the Trabians, whatever. That's what I know for sure. I'm not going on what anybody else says. I'm just telling you what I was told. Then, right after that, Joe Biggs says, listen, I've got a paper right here, a fax from you to the FBI, and it's been circulated since then. It's been circulated all over the internet. I don't know if it's true because Pete keeps saying it's not, but on that day, Pete had a different story. On that day, Pete said, hey, after I did that, people misunderstood my intentions, and I started getting death threats. So the FBI was supposed to protect me because this fax said, hey, this is me, Pete. Why are you not protecting me like you said you would? Okay. This all came out in this conversation about Joe Biggs leaving the platform because he thought that Pete Santilli was a Fed. Pete came out and said, well, I wasn't a Fed, but I did do this. And that fax was just they were supposed to protect me because I was getting death threats from. So it is what it is. You guys come up and make up your own decision.